Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Kelly. Are you there, Kelly?
Yep. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Kelly.
And I have my other co-host, Barbara.
Hi.
Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Now,
Hi,
our
Barbara.
guest today is Vanessa Orr, and she's been with us several times. She is one of our Life, Laughter, Happiness psychics. I always love having her on, and she was able to impress me. And I usually, when I talk to psychics, I just sort of say, oh, okay, that makes sense. But like with you, you were always able to kind of really impress me, which was amazing. You would say things in sort of a risk factor. Like you would risk yourself by saying things instead of just the normal, obvious, but you would get it right. So that was always what impressed me.
Well, thank you.
Now, Barbara, being that this is a friend of yours, why don't you introduce her? Don't reveal too much now, but why don't you reveal a little bit about who your guest is?
Okay. Our guest today is Luann Lee, and we met through Playboy. She's a beautiful Playboy playmate, and we've known each other for 27 years now. And we've had some really great times. She's dynamic. How I would describe her is she has a dynamic personality. She's witty and she's super funny. And if you're ever with Luann, you know you're going to have a good time. She is a professional. She's done so much in her career as far as like broadcasting. She's been host of television shows, news anchors, just modeling, acting. She's done it all, really. And she's very, very, very talented. Yes, and you really have.
My new press agent.
So I just thought that she would really enjoy a psychic day, and I'm excited for her. So I think that's about it. I'd like to turn it over to Vanessa now.
Sure.
So
Okay.
welcome, Luann.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yes.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yes,
Thank
of
you so
course.
much.
Yes. Okay.
Well, I usually start out readings by asking, what can I do for you, or what's the question? I actually picked up earlier before we were starting the show, Luann, there was a lot of ruffled energy. And we were talking about a woman. If you want to continue talking about that, we sure can. But I really pick up a very strong energy around you. It's a no-nonsense, let's get to the point kind of person.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so glad this is being taped, because the only thing that every area of my life, so people will tell me all the time, is you need to be more concise. You use 100 words when you only need to use 10. Yeah, so I'm so glad you said that.
Well, can I tell you something? I like someone who's extremely thorough with words, and so I would invite something like that. What I sense strongly are people who were trying to coach you like that were trying to control you. And they're saying, you can't control Luann. Other people we can control. This one we can't. So that was a misconception that they tried to parlay on you. It does not look like it worked. And
it's a lesson I do need to learn, because you start to lose your audience if you go into all the details. I would ask my dad, what did you do today, Dad? And he would say, well, got up, made some coffee, and I walked to the mailbox. My dad was from Oklahoma. And, I don't need to hear all that stuff. But it turns out, guess what? We do become a lot like our parents as we get a little older. So, no matter how we try. But I just feel like it's important to paint the whole picture. And I need to recognize when the person they've got it. They got it. You don't have to keep saying it over and over again. But anyway, thank you for that, saying that.
Actually, it's my experience that it does not hurt to repeat. In fact, I was speaking with a client today, and I said, I hate to be repetitive, but Spirit showed me actually just today, it's okay to repeat things. And I'm like you. I don't want it should be known. We shouldn't have to revisit this. But so give yourself a break, because you look like someone, when I access your energies, you're very tough on yourself and you're very driven, and it has paid off, but you're a little frustrated right now. And it's understandable. Right now we're in the middle of Mercury retrograde, and it's still a little confusing and a little tough out there, real tough. And so, of course, there's going to be feuds right now and discussions that don't really return a proper value. So set all those debates and disputes aside until August 3rd.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting date. All right.
Can I tell you a little bit more about that conversation? And I know if you don't want me to, that's okay.
No.
I think I was
thinking. You go.
Okay. Your mom has a difficult time expressing what she wants to express because she is prone to people cutting her off, and she allows people to. They are saying, my guys are telling me she sits back, but with you, she challenges you because she might feel more comfortable with you. She carries you deeply in her heart. She doesn't really show it all the time. You can stop me anytime that I might get this wrong, but I'm testing as I'm being shown. There's a lot of blue around here. Right when you jumped on the call before the show began, they were showing me a myriad of colors. I saw white around here, which is typical of white light from above, which would be celestial. It looks like she was in prayer, and it looks like she missed you. So right now, during this,
revolve around F words, because that may have been.
Yeah.
That's kind of her prayer.
You know what I have to say about F words is that for some people, you know what, it's not an excuse, but it is a way of release. And I don't know which way to go with that. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something about that. F words, not the professional way to go. True that. But what it does is, what she is saying is, I can't keep this inside me, and then she does spew. I hope she's listening, because I'm glad we brought this
my
up.
Mother?
Because you
hope my mother's listening?
Yeah. I hope she listens.
Oh.
I hope she listens. I hope she's hearing me.
We can all hope. Yes, we all hope that Ed McMahon shows up at our doorstep with money, but my mom is not interested in her kids or her grandkids, or just not. She doesn't think. I mean, I launched a network. I launched the FX network. That's a kind of
I love it.
And she says, there's really nothing I have to be proud of any of my children. So she's just not interested at all.
Okay,
so
this is a past lifetime. This is a past lifetime to go. I'm sorry, because I love the FX network, and so congratulations on that.
When you said
it's one of my favorite.
White light, I was kind of thinking, oh wow, maybe she's going to move towards that white light. I don't know, but you were.
Oh,
that's probably not.
No, I got a no on that. I got a no on that, but you know what? Sometimes in the scope of these issues, there's this. I didn't see it around her. I could say there's jealousy there, but I get a no on that. So, are you planning a new business?
As of about an hour ago, yeah. I and it starts August 4th, which is interesting, because that's why when you said August 3rd, the big deal was negotiated today. And
that's so awesome, because August 4th is the perfect time to do that. Perfect. You could not do it any better. So that's going to be a success. Are you speaking with must be this guy that I saw earlier. Are you working with a particular gentleman in launching this on August 4th?
in watching it, but
launching,
oh,
sending it off, launching, baptizing it, christening it.
and launching. I was located. I'm in the business world. I'm in the mortgage industry and have been on and off for a long time. And so he sought me out, and this company is based out of Maryland. So I'll be working still in California and living in California, but I'll be all over the place. So he found me. He's a connector of people. So he found me and introduced me to this company in Maryland, and we've been kind of hammering out. I'm pretty strong in what I bring to the table, and so I pretty much got what I wanted, and so that was all me today and yesterday. Yeah, so that was, but yeah, there was a person who I guess you would call it brokering the deal,
Okay. I am really amazed and impressed with all your business, more business acumen, because Barbara has it too, and it's natural for both of you. It's very exciting to sit here and look at these two amazing, strong women. So I am picking up on that. It is a 6. Mm-hmm.
No, I was just saying from the moment, and Barbara knows this, I actually was with my mother. This was when she was nice. The very first time we laid eyes on Barbara, and just by happenstance, coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, but I ended up sitting next to Barbara on this big bus and stuff, and I knew from that moment I'm going to be friends with that gal, and we both have gone through some, just life has been in session for both of us. And I just have so much respect for her and what she's done in her life. So it's, water seeks its own level, that saying.
Thank you, Luann.
I really, really mean that. So I think that the reason why the friendship has sustained so many years is because we both have very similar strengths and use them, So I have a ton of respect for Barbara.
Thank you, and I do for you as well. We are very similar in a lot of ways. I think we're both really funny. We have the same sense of humor. I mean, we just laugh and laugh, and we are good businesswomen. And we have a daughter each. We have been through a lot. We have, and it is light, but it's been a lot. Yeah, and strong. So thank you
smoking
hot. All right, and thank you, Vanessa, for acknowledging that as well.
Oh, yeah. No, the business is going to be very profitable really quickly. It looks like within 6 months, whatever investment is there, you're going to have happy investors on the other side of the table. And it looks like, I just see a lot of people walking through the door. So very exciting. I see a lot of commercial loans. I don't know. It's what businesses or commercial loans to acquire. These are nice properties. These are very big properties that I'm shown. Not just homes. So I'm asking, are these just homes? I get to know. These look like nice office buildings. So I don't know if that's the connectivity there, but
this is not a commercial lender. It's a residential. But maybe there's in the world where Barbara and I live, there's houses that are as big as office buildings. So maybe that's what you're seeing.
That's kind of where I was shown, but I was in the midst of testing all that. Yes. So thank you for helping me there. I guess if I can answer a question for you, I would be happy to do that.
That would be great.
I did. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was working through some Akashic records cards here, record tarot cards. Sometimes I pull cards, Luann, before a show. It's always very telling and very interesting. And so, I don't know, let me see if I can pull one off. It's talking about the Akashic Library. So I guess that's what we're going to delve into tonight, finding out what's going on in your Akashic records.
Okay, I don't know what Akashic means.
Okay. So Akashic records are living chronicles. Akashic records are, you've heard of Book of Life. I grew up in Nebraska, just north of you. So I always liked to go into Oklahoma. I guess that's where you grew up. And
actually, no, I've never been there. I was born in Santa Monica. My father is from Oklahoma.
Okay. All right. Well, so anyway, so tonight's about the Akashic records. So I'm going to ask you to ask me a question.
All right. There are two areas in my life that, way heavy on me. One, I have a lot of love to give to somebody, but I have not been in a relationship or even close to it in 6 years. And
can I tell you why?
Okay. Yeah.
For one thing, you're still in mourning over someone, and it's really, they showed me that you're behind bars with it. Behind you is, like you said, a lot of open territory to have someone be in your life. I am going to tell you that I find you to be you're very analytical, and you very much like to size a person up, and you're very thorough. You're one of the most thorough people I have ever accessed. So right now, you are behind those bars, and right now I don't see them very movable, but I rather sense by the end of this reading, you will have softened your heart towards quite a few things. I'm under the impression from this reading that you were duped, and looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong, please jump in at any time and set me straight, but it looks like someone misled you intentionally, which is a nice way of saying they lied, and it looked like it broke your heart. And your heart, they're showing me, is buried. It's buried. Every reading's different. This reading is no different, but I sense strongly when I hear your voice that you're very guarded in your throat chakra. You're very careful with the things that you say. It has rewarded you well. You're very careful about where you invest your words. That has rewarded you well. You are not someone to be frivolous with your time or your emotions, and thus we have, it's interesting because you've take this the right way. You've even mistreated yourself so that you won't make a bad choice. In other words, you've mistreated your heart very. Yeah. Hey, you know what?
I am not frivolous with my work. I am the most unedited person, which helped me to be successful in television. I will say the thing that everyone's thinking but doesn't have the guts to say. I say it, and it gets me in trouble sometimes. It's been very helpful in entertainment, but not so good in relationships.
Well, you know what? You know why? It's because you speak the truth.
I have a question, just to jump in. Vanessa, you said you were 58 years. When did you say your birthday was?
It's 1961. You have to get your abacus out.
Oh.
Okay. Well, but when is your birthday?
January
29th.
Really?
Oh, wait, who are we speaking to? Yeah. When's yours? Who is that, Barbara?
Vanessa? Okay,
Apparently, I knew I had to speak up. Apparently, your birthdays are one day apart.
Oh
wow.
That's so
Vanessa
funny.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry,
So
I didn't mean to interrupt the meeting, but I just thought that I'd bring that up.
You get to send me birthday cards telling me what an old lady I am. Because I was born
you're
first.
not
24 hours. Yeah, you could say, yeah, do you need your walker yet? Because I'm 24 hours older than you.
I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anything, but I just saw that, and I was looking at while you were on the phone, looking at her name, and I thought, wait a minute.
That is bizarre.
58. So, I mean, maybe that's why you're getting such a good connection. But it would go on with what you're saying. I just want to jump in with
That's
what you were
cool.
talking about.
Thank you.
Okay. What were you talking? You go with what you're talking about.
Yeah, my heart is kind of closed down. I don't want
just anybody.
I don't want just anybody, and I don't want to be. It's the exposure, I guess, probably is the right word. Exposed to being, hurt again, and so I'm either the stupidest gold digger in the whole wide world. There's, I've had many opportunities to be with and marry, not only men that I think Michelangelo himself sculpted their bodies, but they were very successful in their careers and things like that. And I would, there was something about them, whether one person, he was angry, and I knew that he never had hit me or touched me, but I knew if he ever did, he'd kill me, because he was just 6'4" and built like a Michelangelo, just built his body. And somebody else, a billionaire, and I broke up with him too, and he would say, and Barbara knows who this guy is, and he would say, no one's ever broken up with me before. And he would say it like that, right? And he would call me all the time, and I'd say, babe, we're broken up. He would say, well, no one's ever done that. He then proceeded to go out and date every one of my girlfriends. But the thing with him was that I knew he was a philanderer. And I knew that, he would come home and it was an unbelievable life. I mean, I didn't go out seeking these people. I would get set up on blind dates. His ex-wife set me up. I'd known her for 8 years, and she said, I've never set my ex-husband up with anybody, but I think you'd be perfect for him. So, I'm the one who leaves. And the only one that I didn't leave was somebody who knows as well. He left me. And I didn't realize that when I was set up with him, he was actually in love with another woman that works at his company. But I didn't realize he was just bringing me around to kind of strut me up and make her jealous. And nobody said anything until about year 3. And I kept watching him watch her. And one of the assistants said, don't you know? He left his wife for that woman. And she never left her husband for him. And that's kind of why you're here, kind of make her jealous. And and then I went into self-destruct.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. And you went into...
I did.
Yeah, you went into hiding too. And you're the only person I've seen in a reading who took her heart and buried it so that couldn't be found either.
Yeah, I know I have it because I love my daughter, but it scares the hell out of me to be vulnerable, and which is why I work so hard. I mean, up until 2 weeks ago, I was working 60 to 65 hours a week. I had no time I hadn't seen my friends. I hadn't gone to a movie. Bathing was like a premium time, like about a half hour to wash my hair. You know what I mean? Because that's all the time I had to do was when you work that many hours. And I would get set up on dates, and I would say, I don't have time. So like I said, either I'm the dumbest gold digger in the whole wide world, or I'm not. It's not about that for me, and it's option 2. It's really not about that for me, and for me, it's I know you don't get the whole pie. If you take the most important things that are in your life and you divide them into sections. So I want someone with a sense of humor, and I want somebody who, I don't want to live underneath a freeway. I don't need to necessarily date the man who built that freeway either. But, I want to be able to afford health insurance. I want to be able to afford a safe neighborhood. I want a car with airbags, and I want to take a family vacation. So it's the normal things in life. Unfortunately, depending on where you live, that can be really expensive, and it's very expensive in California. So, I either continue to work hard or I open my heart up and give it a go.
Well, what I pick up is that everything that you are investing in the way of time, Luann, is returning to you. Let me see. About 6.5-fold right now. So whatever you're investing in, and I'm not just talking about money, but your time and your presence at this new company, for example, is going to return to you very quickly, which is why this company is going to probably prosper, turn a nice wide profit by 5.5 months and not just 6, like I said earlier. I'm hearing a lot of things like this about you from a gentleman that is infused in this new company that is starting out on August 4th. She is the backbone. So you're part of this vertebrae of this company. And they are talking about you being a fixture. So you will be there a lot. The other thing that's going on is that you're setting such a huge bar, such a high bar, and you're such a role model for others, not just your daughter, but I see other women watching you. And they are saying to me that you have it all. It's interesting because you are the hardest person on yourself.
Mm. Yeah, I had to sell my home and move in with my hideous mother. And I don't know if my daughter will ever forgive me for that, but I just
Luann,
like a loser.
After this, no, don't. Yeah, that's not. You know what? That's a signature that I can't even find on you. Actually, I can't even find that on you at all.
Just saying the words makes me cry.
Yeah, that's just crosswise with you. It's right across your heart. What I will do after the show is I will shift energy for you and bring some mending, if you will, into that personal relationship. It was harsh on the phone. It was harsh on the phone. I'm very sorry because what's going on is that your mother is literally trying to connect with you emotionally. It's not going to work. When someone creates such a difficult response with profanity, what they're doing is getting it out of their system, but they're also trying to wrest control of that conversation. Doesn't make it right. If I ask the question, is your mother a narcissist, I get a no. So that's a good thing.
Really?
And if I ask the question, I get a no. But if I ask the question, is your mother misguided, I get a yes. Does your mother seek to control you? I actually get a yes. Does your mother seek to control your daughter? Yeah, and she seeks to control your daughter too. She says to me that she tries to remain relevant. And she thinks by inserting herself, which we both know is not going to work, that by inserting herself under this vapid idea of control, that's how she remains relevant. But we all know, everyone here and everyone listening, that's not how you do it. It's being tenable, being supportive, and tipping in when the times get tough. That's what that's about. So when I ask the question
of her altogether, that is describing someone else's mother. Maybe my next
I was
neighbor,
talking.
I don't know who.
I was talking in
sorry?
third person there. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
So,
No.
no, entirely fine. It's Mercury retrograde. One big sorry up front. So, the feuds continue. After I finish the work, the feuds will not be present.
You know, she has told me my entire life. She would introduce my sister and myself, and she would say, "This is my smart daughter, and this is my beautiful daughter." Now, when I was a kid, you know, I didn't understand the dynamic of what was going to happen. Now, as an adult, I do. But the implication was, and then it became real words, is that I'm not bright and my sister's not pretty. But then she actually, you know, she got tired of the subtlety and then just came flat out and said, you know, you're basically you're stupid. Basically, this was after launching, you know, a network and being a success at two other major careers, and her telling me, you know, you really don't have any skills, Luann. Really, I just think you should go down and get a job at the post office, which, by the way, is it's a reputable job, and I'm grateful for postal workers because we all depend on our mail. I don't mean that in any other way other than the fact that I have other skills that I have been very successful with. And so, you know, if she go down and get a job at a grocery store so you can be part of the union or this or that, and it's because she never, which, by the way, is a great job, too. I want to go down to the grocery store and have somebody there that I like and is working there and can help me. It's a great job, too. I worked at a grocery store at one point. I actually worked behind the food counter and ate all the food for lunch. So that was a long time ago. That's how I discovered what chicken livers were. That they were just, I was working at a Gelson's and they had me like putting these things in the fryer and I would be hungry, so I'd pop one in my mouth and I thought they were delicious. And for about the first 2 weeks, I didn't say anything. And I asked somebody later, "What is that?" And they said, "That's fried chicken livers." I almost gagged. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But anyway, I digress. But so I'm appreciative. I appreciate, you know, grocery store workers. But you know, there was 5,000 people that were interviewed to launch FX. There was only worldwide. There was only 10 people that were hired, and we interviewed Rupert Murdoch. So I mean. And then he brought me back to Los Angeles and gave me my own show, like The View. And, you know, Rupert Murdoch kind of talks like, you know, he would say, "Okay, here it is. I've got some good news. I've got some bad news. Okay, it's not bad news. It's blah, blah, blah. But here we go. We're going to do a new thing. It's an ensemble cast. All right, so here's the thing. You're nationwide. It's great. It's wonderful. It's a contract. In some markets, you're going to be up against a gal named Oprah. Other markets, you're going to be up against a gal named Barbara. But you're going to be great." Okay. Well, Barbara Walters and Oprah, we kind of see who won the battle there. But, I mean, he believed in me. And so, you know, to have your own mother just say, "Hey, you know, your skill set sucks. Why don't you go down and, you know, my whole life, every single day. And, now she's doing it to my daughter, and that was
that's
not transition.
That can't be.
Yeah. Well, I'm transitioning into that. Was my second question is my own relationship with my daughter. I don't know what you see there, but I would love for you to tell me anything that you can about what you see about the relationship with my daughter.
Well, she does take you for granted a little bit, yes. But she also, she'll never tell you this. She is, okay, one, she's very proud of you. I don't think she's going to tell you that. Two, she's also proud, but won't tell you that you are her mother. Because three, it shines a light on her. It's kind of like what I've said to Kelly, when the sun shines on the moon. That's how she kind of looks at the relationship. She shines because you shine. She's never going to tell you. The one thing I want to go back to is the relationship that your mother tried to create between you and your sister. Because I did see a sister much earlier before the show started. Your mother was trying to pit you and your sister against one another so that you both would work hard as in a competition. If I asked did that work, I got a no. So did you ever see yourself in unwanted or a competition with your sister?
You know what's interesting is that I never knew. She's 4 years older than me, so when I showed up, she was my big sister. I looked up to her. She got everything first. She got Barbies first. She got a stereo first. She got a car first. She got everything first, right? And I looked up to her. I went one route. She got married. She married a guy that total type A guy, and he worked at a grocery store. He was a box boy, a bag boy, but he did that at night, and during the day he was a teacher, and so he worked, super hard, and he went on then and became a top guy in the financial industry, just catering to teachers and helping them manage their money and their pensions and all of that. And I looked up to her because here I was traveling all around, not knowing what I was doing. But my sister had 3 beautiful kids, and I remember thinking, she gets a brand new car every 2 years. She gets to shop at Nordstrom, and she travels all around the world. I want to be just like her. What I didn't know was that she resented me. I did not know that for a long time. I was 38 years old. In fact, Barbara was there. And as you can tell, Barbara's been a part of my life for a long time. And I got engaged and I got married. And the ring I got, my sister got pretty upset about. And it was because her husband, he was wise. He didn't spend a bunch of money on things that he was concerned with saving. That's what he was doing for his clientele. Now, nobody knew that the ring that I got was bought by money laundering because my husband was money laundering for the Cuban mafia. So it wasn't even his money. But he had to spend that money somewhere. And so I ended up with a big old ring. But I didn't know. For me, I wasn't about the ring. Barbara danced at my wedding. I didn't care. I learned early on that the people that like you will never believe anything about you that's said that's negative. And the people that don't like you are going to believe everything that's said about you that's negative. Whether it's true or not, you need to know who your true friends are, and those are the people that you keep close to you. Because if something comes out, which there's been things that have come out in the press about me, and the people that know me will know that, oh my goodness. First of all, let me call Luann. She's got to know about this. She's got to be just curled up in the fetal position right now. Let me go be there for her. Or she'll say that's total BS. That's so not true. Because let me tell you, I know Luann. I've known Luann for a long time. It's like that saying, I know Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine, and you're no Jack Kennedy. I don't know if you remember that debate. And so the people that know me know me really well. And so I just think that all of that stuff, everything, that I was never, ever, ever jealous of my sister, and it was a huge, well, I mean, I wanted her life, but I wasn't coveting it. I just was like, that was my goal to aspire to, and it was a real blindside when I realized that she had been jealous of me always, and turns out still is. And it's just a families are just weird anyway, the dynamics in families are just odd. But
well, that's true. But
yeah,
I rather sense
I'm
that
really
your mom
curious
was
about my daughter. Oh, go ahead.
About your what?
About my daughter, but I cut you off because there's a delay.
Yeah.
So you really sense that my mom was pitting us against each other, and she probably was, I'm sure. Or maybe she was just doing the best she could. Maybe she was just trying to pull out the best quality of both. I don't know, but to say to my sister straight out, you're pretty frumpy looking, which, by the way, she's so not. She's got Julia Roberts hair. I mean, my sister's really pretty, and I am no friggin' dummy. So to say those things every day of one's life, you really need to be a strong force in yourself and surround yourself with people who believe in you, because you have so much to counteract. A parent is an omnipotent power in your life. They are the omnipotent being for many years. All growing up, your parent, anything they say, you believe, because they are, whether you believe in God and cards, whatever it is, they are an omnipotent, all-seeing thing. And when you're young, especially. And so it's so vital what the messages that you give your children, because the whole thing about sticks and stones, breaking bones, and words, by the way, put a cast on that arm, it'll heal. Words you will carry the rest of your life. And I guess I still have not given up with trying to make my mom feel proud of me. I just, there's a part of me that wants to tell her about this job. But because I'm under her control right now, because I had to sell my house, she keeps raising my rent like every other day. She keeps raising my rent. And that was the conversation when I got, and it's just all about money for her. She's a very good businesswoman. I learned a lot from her. I also learned what not to be. And I don't want to be that kind of mother. And I am not that kind of mother.
No.
But, you don't ever poke a mama bear in her cave, right? So if she wants to mess with me, I'm used to it. Cut me down, tell me I'm stupid, whatever it is. Tell me I should live in the alley. My father ended up living in an alley. Whatever. I know that's not who I am. You say that to my daughter, we've got a very serious issue here, right? So she started saying things to my daughter, who is stunning and really brilliant. And I don't know if you ever saw the movie Virginia Woolf, that was Nicole Kidman portrayed it.
No, I didn't see it.
I didn't either, but she wore a prosthetic nose, and she was made to look really ugly. You could not recognize her at all. And she cut out pictures of Nicole Kidman dressed like that for the character. And then she called my daughter, she called my sister, and she called me. And she said, Caitlin really needs to have some plastic surgery, because, see, here's what Caitlin looks like right now. And she showed this Virginia Woolf. Now, my daughter had just won Miss Teen California. We'd never watched, we're not a Miss America family at all. But she did that to raise awareness because my daughter had cancer and she's doing great, but she wanted to raise awareness for that. So she'd never been in a pageant in her entire life. Turns out California is quite the pimped out state. You got Sacramento to San Diego and all of Hollywood. She went out and slayed it and won Miss Teen California. We had to go on and represent the great America, like as in Miss USA. But you don't say that to anybody, much less somebody that you love. Here's what you look like, Caitlin. But if you get your nose done, you could be pretty Nicole Kidman. But right now, not so much. And then she says, you're in university, but you're just not smart enough to be a doctor. That's why you have to have a tutor and go to summer school, because you're just not smart enough to be a doctor. All right, well, this is a person I don't care to be around. So I was kind of happy when you said the white light thing earlier. Now, maybe people won't understand. I'm not a mean, evil person, but I think she's just too spicy to go anywhere. And she's had 2 strokes and a heart attack and, came out of the hospital smoking a cigarette. I think she's just too spicy to go anywhere. She's going to be around for a while, just exactly like what you said.
Yeah, I got a yes on that. She does operate in misconceptions. Kelly knows me. She knows that I don't use the mislead, misunderstand words, but misconceptions are lies. So she does operate in a strategy of, I'm going to call it magic, because she does have magical thinking. But when I test and I ask, is this a narcissist, I get a no, which is surprising. And I concur with you, Luann.
I'm surprised too. Yeah,
I know it is surprising, because a lot of what you're saying is actually someone who is living through her children, and I would say that would be a very strong arm of narcissism. And yet, when I ask, "Is your mother a narcissist?" I still get a no. So what we have here is somebody who has operated skillfully in creating dissension between people, and in so doing, it creates distraction from her, and it creates a dynamic, as you were rather referring to earlier, between you and your sister. It doesn't look like it was successful. When I asked when I asked certain questions while you were speaking, a lot of what you were saying I concur with. I'm getting a positive affirmation. I don't know if you know me very well, but I'm a professional dowser, and I invoke kinesiology, muscle testing, when I do readings. So I'm not just doing a reading, I'm also testing everything that I'm shown during the reading to get, I guess, like a double, I guess it's like backup. I can't think of another word for it right now.
I get confirmation.
But there you go. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
But your mother had it backwards. What she had was a beautiful family, and her only job she missed in this lifetime, they were showing me while you were speaking, was this one soul contract. And the one soul contract she had was to sit back and love you both. Now that seems kind of lazy, and it seems like, shouldn't she have done more here? But that was her job. And I think she was, I know I shouldn't say I think, but what I was shown is that she was operating out of strategies of fear, which we all know what fear gets. If you invest fear, you will have a large profit margin, a return of investment called fear. It'll just, multiply. But your mother has operated in fear for a long time. She does fear death. She's very fearful of death. She doesn't really embrace divine light. She does embrace what society embraces. So, that kind of goes crosswise with someone who does what I do. I too like to have people succeed. I like to have people raise the bar and achieve that bar. But your mother is
Okay, she's been disconnected. Let me get her back. I'm gonna go text her real quick. Okay.
Okay, great.
Give me a second here. Okay. We'll get her back. Okay.
That's great.
I hope you're having fun, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun to talk about my mom.
Well, yeah, one of the things I like about the interviews is that
sorry, Johnny. Things I have not known. I mean, this is really intense. How you grew up with your mom being that way. It's sad to hear, but I hope you can get somewhere with this reading, with what to do about it or what could be done. I just do not like hearing it. It's so sad, Luann.
Well, I don't. It's not something that you lead with, on a.
Try something here.
But
it's just what. Yeah, it's sad that you have to live with her right now, but knowing that isn't going to be forever, that gives you some hope, right?
Well, I hope. I don't know. Apparently she's not going anywhere, so. I mean, I gotta.
Well, you have a lot of success coming though with what's going on now. You have a lot of success, so you can get out of there eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got to believe in that.
Yeah. Well, you were at my house, right?
Yeah.
At my home in Oak Park. Yeah. That same house, my house, is now on the market for $1 million, and I bought it for $374. So in order to make that kind of money, I mean, it's California's just crazy, but
I know.
I don't know. I think that's why I just beat myself up so much.
And she was right about that.
Yeah. What's so crazy?
We have to get together. Remember? Yeah. What is crazy?
Well, it's so funny because I have heard that the gal who bought the house has done everything to the house that I wanted to do. Like, I've heard it's just beautiful, which it was beautiful before. I mean, it was beautiful. But I still hate her. It's like I need someone to blame. I blame myself, but it's like I know her name is Jessica.
She's going to try to call in again. So.
Oh, she is.
Yeah. Well, we need to get together. I noticed there is a difference in your voice. Since when we even talked yesterday, I noticed it was a seriousness that I did not detect before. And when you called me, I don't know, I think it was a month ago we talked, and you were upbeat, like the Luann that I know. And right now you're just a little different.
Are you there, Vanessa?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry about that. Hi, I'm so sorry.
Technical problems happen to everybody, even psychics.
That's okay. We were just chatting a little bit. We were just saying that we need to get together soon now that I'm back here in California, and that she sounds, Luann does sound different to Vanessa. A month ago we talked, and she was upbeat and bubbly, and that's the Luann that I am used to. And she, even last night, I caught her when she was busy, but with somebody, but she seemed serious, and I didn't know if it was that because of that, but now on the phone she's sounding serious, not like the regular Luann Lee I know. So I detect something different.
We know why. When you get off the phone with your mom after a conversation like that, it's completely understandable. And what,
no, those
Barbara,
happen every day. There's just a lot. I have a heaviness in my heart. I have a lot of pressure to succeed and all that stuff. The conversations with my mom, I'm done. I'm already past it. Those are daily things. I try to avoid her. I have a second career for me would be an amazing cat burglar because I am so stealth. When I walked into this, I would be. Let me tell you, I could be friggin' Pink Panther for real. And it's just kind of a funny joke nowadays, but it's sad. It's just a heaviness that you're hearing because, I don't know if you have children, but when you raise high achievers, they're a fortune. People have asked me, so is Caitlin your only daughter? I'm like, hell yes, I can only afford one. Are you kidding me? you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you mind switching gears, because I don't want to run out of time, but I would really love to hear if you see anything about my daughter.
She is working with a very guarded situation right now. She says, I'm keeping my head low, she says, Luann, and she loves you very much. I think everyone's very guarded in this no one knows where to step right now. Again, if I ask, is your mother a narcissist? I don't know why. I still get a no, because we're walking on eggshells. We're walking on landmines. I can see that you're concerned about your daughter. So I know we're towards the end of the show, so I'm going to do this for you. And I'm so sorry about I don't have really good internet, so I will get dropped. So here's what I'm going to do is when we finish the show, I'm going to go shift energy for you and your daughter and your mom. I know you said you're beyond your mom. I get that, but I'll handle that for you. And right now we're in the middle of...
I mean, my daughter is in Tennessee. My daughter is at least out away from her, which is good, except for to take summer school, it's $13,000 for 2 classes. No pressure whatsoever. But
is that
at least
is that
she's
Vanderbilt
away.
or something?
Yeah, she's across the street. Thank you. Yeah, she is. They use the Vanderbilt Hospital, but she's at Lipscomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
We actually have another half an hour. We have another half an hour, right, Johnny?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
We do our psychic days for 90 minutes now instead of 60. I should have told you. I don't know if Luann has more time.
Vanessa.
Or Vanessa.
I do.
Or Vanessa. What?
I said, surprise, Vanessa.
Yeah,
or Vanessa.
Are you okay with that, Vanessa?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I just don't want to wear anyone out. So about your daughter, she's keeping her head low, and she is very focused on her life. It looks like there's a man around her, a boyfriend. And yes. And she feels like she's home. She feels like she's home.
I know.
So
I know, which means I'm moving.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I don't see her coming back here, and I'm just going to have to get used to the humidity and the bugs, which means, Barbara, that means you and Priscilla might be moving too.
I've lived there. I lived there for almost 6 years, and it was very nice. Yeah, I did.
Well,
as a flight attendant,
my name is Luann. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. My name is Luann. I'm the only, I don't ever have to give anybody my last name because I am the only Luann in all of California.
But not
I have an
there,
older
probably.
brother, Mike. Yeah, I have an older brother, Mike, and a younger brother, Mike. And I like NASCAR. I like country music when it wasn't cool. And I'd never been to Nashville, so it's. I just got back actually the night before last. But
remember when you
used
to always say, that your daughter reminds you of me, or was it just a look, or the way we look in the face, or our personalities, or our face?
It's your discipline. You're both beautiful, but you are so disciplined with your craft, and so is Caitlin, and I just, you really are. I mean, so amazing. You're just such an amazing person, and so is Caitlin. Caitlin is probably one of the most amazing people I've ever met. If I got to choose any friend on this planet that I would have for life, if she wasn't my daughter and she was just a person, I would choose her. I mean, this chick is, whoever her mother was bitching.
Well, why are you concerned about how she feels about you right now? I know because of your mom and what your mom's done, but you guys have just been so close. Like my daughter,
we are.
Me and my daughter
we
are.
Still are, yeah.
Okay. But you just want to know more about what she's thinking?
Yeah, I just want to know about, I want to know about what, about, she's never spoken to David, ever. And I just want to, I want to know what Vanessa, I want to know what Vanessa senses or feels or there and what direction I should take, because this is going to be a journey, and it may not be good. I want to, help her in any way I can.
So, forgive me, I might have come late to the party. David is her father? No, David?
Well, actually, okay, so obviously there was a biological there at one point. When she was 4 months old, she never met him really, ever. And no, I never said one negative thing about the guy, ever, never. I learned that from my mother. So you can learn things from yucky people, what not to be.
Yeah.
And I
and that
said,
is right about
he never.
You learned how to be the mother that you didn't want to be.
Yeah, exactly. And so finally, I said such wonderful things about him, which, by the way, were the truth. They were the truth. I didn't lie about it. He made me laugh every single day. He never missed a doctor's appointment. I wanted this certain doctor. It wasn't covered under our insurance plan, but because I wanted the doctor, he made it happen. When she was born, he called her his little monkey girl. He made me every dream come true, even if it wasn't important to him. If it was a dream of mine, it happened. Hence the Beverly Hills Hotel wedding and blah, 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 blah. Well, she finally said, well, if he was so great, why did you leave? And I told her the truth there. And I said, in every single person, every single human, there's a piece of us that's broken. And the piece of him that was broken, I knew I couldn't fix. And that piece was honesty. And I left it there. And it wasn't until she was about 16 or something older that I said, well, he was money laundering for the Cuban Mafia. And that was something we couldn't live with. By then, she was old enough to know that, look, if this was a great guy, we needed she just turned 21 on the 4th of July. And for the first time ever in anything I've ever given her, in any written correspondence, which, by the way, in her lunchbox, she used to get bored with, my little I love you notes, because I did it all the time. I just mailed her something, and I'd send her notes. I've never mentioned this person's name. And I said, I thank, God for George because of his DNA. We needed, God knew, we needed those chromosomes mixed with mine. And I don't know how God knew this, but I guess I am strong enough to raise you alone, which I did not think I was. But you are the best of the both of us. And you are the reason I'm born. You are the only reason why I was born. You're meant for many, many great things and much greater things than I've ever accomplished. And my job is to get you there. And she understands that. She actually repeats back to me. The wonderful thing about kids is that, she repeats back to me the things that I've said to her. When you said earlier, she may not tell you that she's proud of you. She sends me texts all the time. I'm so proud of you, Mama. You got out of bed today. No. No. Joking about that. No, I'm so proud of you about this. I'm so proud, and it's because she's just an amazing person. I mean, I don't need to tip my hand, but the sun rises and sets around this girl. Her needs are met way before mine, and that's just the way I've always been, because I know my purpose. My purpose in life was to have her, because she's going to go on and do really great things. And there was a woman named Susan B. Komen, and nobody knew who Susan B. Komen was. But that woman changed the world. because of what she did with breast cancer. And there's a woman out there whose child got hit by a drunk driver and by herself. She started an organization, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. So it just takes one person that has a support system behind them. And my daughter has that where I never did. And I know she's going to do something. I mean, when she got cancer at 12, I said, and I didn't mean, this was not my words. I prayed about it for a long time. And I said, you know what, Caitlin, circumstances are going to happen to you in life. It's what you do with them that will define you. So what are you going to do about this? And she looked at me like, wow, you're a mean mommy. And I just kept a straight face. And so she went out and she became the ambassador for the American Cancer Society and raised $10,000. And, this chick is going to change the world. She really is. And so I know that she's embarrassed by me sometimes, which, by the way, that means I'm doing my job. But I know she's disappointed in me, and I know there's huge conflict with this guy, David, who is how this question started. The guy that I dated for 8 years that she looked up to as her dad. And he said he would never leave. That the issue was between me and him, and that he would always be there for her, and then has never been there for her. And so it's been tough. And I keep telling her, you can sweep it under the rug all you want, but it will manifest. And she's now gained 25 pounds, 30 pounds. So it's going to come out in some way or another. If you don't deal with something, it's going to come out in an unhealthy way. And
that's true.
So she won't. So that's why I want to know about with her. Are we still? Are you still there?
Yep, we're still here.
Yep, I'm right here. Yep.
Okay. So anything that you can offer with that situation would be grand.
Well, half the stuff that you were saying I was testing, but she will be doing something significant. I don't know. I'm kind of lost right now, but as far as I know, she does do something significant down the road. It looks like, if you're ready for this, I can tell you that there's a little boy coming. When does that little boy come is probably the project management of this reading right now. So she's very interested in having kids. And so let me see, is it this year? No, it couldn't be. Is it next year? It's very soon. Is it 2020? Is it 2021? Looks like 2021. I don't know her age. I could muscle test and find out. But it looks like 2021 to 2023. 2 boys come. Does that make sense? How old is she?
Well, not to me. She's 20. She just turned 21 on the 4th of July, just the other day, and she takes 2 forms of birth control. Like, she has an alarm set and condoms. But God wants what the God wants. Who knows? Systems fail, I guess.
It looks like she wants a family. She's talking about a family. I saw that earlier. Family's important to her, and she says she's home. And it looks like there's a lot of acceptance there for her where she is in Tennessee. Is school important?
Oh, and you know what? Maybe that's what you're talking about. Because you know what? The family, her boyfriend's family, she's really close with. And the sister, who's been gay for a long, long time, just met a guy and fell in love, and I think they're going to get married. So maybe those are the two boys.
No.
Hello?
No, that's not.
Hello?
That's not. No. Hello?
No, it's coming from Caitlin, huh?
Yeah, I get a yes on that.
Huh? Okay. Whatever. I love her. I mean, I love her, and I love anybody that loves her, and whatever happens, it happens.
Right. That's what I'm picking up, and so I got to know on these other people you're speaking about. So, yeah. But she is looking to create family. That's what I keep picking up. And so, yeah. Yep, I know.
I don't blame her
it's
because
tough.
she doesn't have a family. I mean, I'm her family. She's kind of stuck with me, and
Luann, she loves
so
you
that's
very much. She
I
talks very highly about you. Yeah, and I know you know all that.
But I mean, I really totally get that what you said about that she feels like Nashville is home. I can see that completely. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what's coming up for you. And
you can be a part of that. And they say that you can be a part of that. She's trying to actually kind of make home for you because she is subconsciously picking up on, can I tell you what I keep picking up on? You're worried about your future. You're worried about where you're going to be. And that's just not, don't even worry about that because it's taken care of. When I look into your future, they keep showing me it's taken care of. So nothing to worry about there. I am concerned about one thing, and I want to unbury your heart, but the bars have come down quite a bit in the last hour that I saw earlier. So I'm hoping that you're okay with me shifting some energy. I am going to bandage up some things between.
Oh no, where'd she go?
Okay.
What?
She must have gotten disconnected again.
Oh, there she is. Is that her?
I'm right here.
Okay. So you said hi. Can you hear us?
Is there a problem? You can't hear me?
I can hear her.
Now we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Now, okay, you said I'm
can hear
going to
everyone.
band. So I'm going to band
I'm right
some things
here
together.
Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. This has really been a disconnected reading. I'm so sorry, Luann, but I'm going to tell you what, Luann. We're in the middle of Mercury retrograde. And right now you're going through a lot of shifts. We're all going through a lot of shifts, but you come out on top. I'm going to ease a lot of things off your heart chakra. I'm going to create a lot of bridging and restoration, peace, and healing with you and your mom. I'm sorry your mom is so boisterous, but because that's not good for a heart. And I'm shown that if we don't get this fixed, heart issues come up down the road, and you don't need that.
Okay, so I actually think that I am due for a heart attack. I have all of
my God.
signs.
Hold on. Hold your horses. Cancel. Pink light. I'm going to tell you something.
Well, I have every single symptom.
Baby, you are so hard on yourself. And you know what? Let me test. I get a no. Luann, I get a no.
Well, I don't know. My
Luann,
ankles are so swollen. I have heart circulation problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I get winded, and I just don't know I don't know how much longer I have here.
Can I tell you something? In this lifetime, you hit the peak fast and early. It was an intent with you to hit the peak fast and early. And I would say that because your mother's, the way that she raised you and your sister, it accelerated you hitting your peak so early. And you said,
what does that mean? That now I'm just on the downhill slide? What does that mean?
Well, that's what you think. But that is not at all what I see, because they showed me You buried your heart in the backyard. No one can dig that up. The only person that can dig that up is me. So that's a heart issue. You've gotten in the way of yourself here. So I'm going to unbury your heart because you have buried it out in the backyard, and you're talking about heart issues. And it's not even a soul contract. It's a nothing burger here. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to pull you back together. Things are going to be different. And you know what I want
so.
you to do?
I had hip replacement surgery, and I had 4 foot surgeries, and I had part of my femur replaced, and my ankles are the size of grapefruits every single night, and it's circulation problems.
I'm really sorry that happened. I think I'm burying your heart. If you let me do it, I'll be happy to do that. If you don't want me to, that's okay too. But I'm going to tell you something about those leg issues. One, it's a past lifetime. You were, if I access that, you were in a war. If you lose a leg, I got yes that you lost a leg. Set that aside, because when we go through war, it's post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's war. And when we die, when bad things happen to us, and we pass away, it gets frozen in our DNA. It gets frozen in our bloodline. It gets frozen in us as we exit earthly plane. The other thing that's going on in this lifetime with the hip and the femur and the feet is you have been unsure of your future. Where do I step now? Where do I go forward now? But you're doing it. You're doing it, Luann.
Yeah.
And Luann, I do honestly agree with you that I'd rather see you going out to Tennessee, bugs and all, and you're happy out there, and it's quiet, and there's expectance, and there's family there. For all the frozen energy that got baked into you, I don't know, I can't even believe those words I chose, but that there's a lot of war syndrome or post-traumatic stress syndrome in there as you were growing up. So family to you is very tenuous. It's very dodgy. It's unpredictable. Yeah. Those days are over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
You seem like you feel a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, I to have somebody say to me exactly how I feel. I mean, it's like trying to get the weather report every day because you never know what the weather's going to be like today.
Yeah.
It's, and I remember that as a kid. I'd come around the corner walking home from school, and I could hear my house. And people would say, "What do you mean, hear it?" And it was because I could hear my mom yelling. And I would know, well, today's going to be another tornado, and you never know now, years later, 50 years later, because I was probably 8 at that time, you never know when the hurricane's going to hit. And when it hits, let me tell you, it's Hurricane Sandy. This one is, and you never know. That's why I choose not to be in that kind of light. I don't want to be around that kind of a toxic person because you can never trust.
That's why you work a lot.
You can
well, that's why you work a lot too.
Well, I want to get the hell out of. Well, I want to get the hell out of this house, but.
And it happens faster than you know because the company does do well and they do honor you for my gosh, they're talking about the project management that you've invested here. So that's amazing. So you do have a home away from you have a lot of homes actually. You're welcome everywhere is what I pick up, Luann.
Wow, that is kind of true.
Good, I'm glad because it is so. And as far as your mom, she's a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie.
I know.
Is her heart? Can I soften her heart? No. Can I mend the bridge? Yes, I can, and I will do that.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's a thing. Okay, I will do everything I can here, and I know there will be a shift. And they are showing me that you won't notice the shift, and you know what I say to that? That's entirely fine. That's how life should be. You know what I do? I walk into my house, and there's an expectancy. What's the expectancy? There's peace and quiet and joy and laughter here. And that's what your home should be. That's what every home should be.
That's what every home should be. It should be your sanctuary, your reprieve, because you go out and you fight the battles. It's funny that you said war, because I feel like it's been a war since I was born. I'm still in that war. And that you mentioned it's weird that you said that. But
well, let me tell you something about that other lifetime is that you died in war, so you came back in war. I can shift that out. I'm going to tell you something. We need to shift. Yes?
Oh, I noticed that, I three-wayed Leanne in, and I was wondering, would it be all right if, I gave Leanne your phone number and vice versa?
You mean Luann?
Yeah.
You want to?
Luann.
Oh, okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to say this. Maybe we can do it another time, because I was going to tell Luann to contact me. Not tonight. I've got readings all day tomorrow too, and I've been in readings all day today. No, don't apologize.
You're exhausted.
It's just busy. And I do want to get to Luann's situation when I get off the call, because they're telling me urgent. And Luann, when we shift energy, it connects us together. It's amazing. Oh.
That's scary that it's urgent. Yeah.
Oh, well,
is that supposed to be exciting?
It's just let me phrase it differently. It's exciting, so I can't wait to get off the phone.
Okay.
So I can go through this with you.
Okay.
You deserve a healthy break. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it easy for you guys to contact each other. That's all.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm on Instagram, and my number and my email are on there, if that helps, and my website's on there too. So
I'm a dork. I'm gonna have to have Barbara probably show me that, because I don't.
Oh. Okay.
I have Instagram. I just don't know how to access it.
Yeah,
well, then,
I put this story up on Instagram and I tagged everybody and you, Luann, so you'll be able to see it. But I will send it directly to you as well.
Yeah,
her Instagram.
Like in a normal, maybe like a text or something.
I noticed you don't have very many Instagram photos up, and
I know, because
so
I don't
many
know how
photos.
to do it.
Okay, I'll help you when
I'm a dork.
I
can't thank you, and I cannot thank you enough, Barbara and Vanessa. I mean, I am
you're welcome.
choked up. I mean, I really am. I can hardly talk.
It was a soul contract that we all hammered out long before we all incarnated. The five of us said we would all be here tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. I don't know who Kelly is, but I keep hearing her name. So
Kelly is. I'll explain to who she is. Kelly is our our co-host. One of the things that she does on the show is chakra days.
Oh.
And maybe Kelly can explain that to you. Kelly, would you like to explain?
Sure. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that's what I was brought on the show to do, and then it ended up turning into so much more, and then it branched out to guided meditation. But that's how Barbara and I met. And tell Luann how you felt after I did your chakras.
Oh my goodness, I felt a lot of clarity. I felt good because somebody that is taking the time to go through each one of my chakras and really examine it and talk about it, I felt a very deep sense of love, acknowledgement, care. I was able to heal way quicker than if I wouldn't have had that done. It just was so amazing, the feeling I got of just fulfillment, euphoria, all of that. And I really, now that I've been on the show, watching everybody come on and get their chakras cleansed, they're pretty much similar to those feelings every time. They're having these, some people get a lot of energy, and that's what I was going to do next, is invite you to our show for a chakra cleanse. You really would be able to, you'd benefit from it immensely.
Oh, that would be great. I hope you want to.
That would be so great. I just don't want to do a caffeinated colon cleanse, but a chakra cleanse sounds good.
Yeah, nobody's
well,
going to involve an enema. This does not involve an enema.
No, we just have you stand on your, head and spin around and pat your belly and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
There you go. Yeah, I think I had a DUI test like that once. I passed.
Yeah.
See, there's my personality. See?
Yeah.
Ralphie's back.
Can I
Oh,
say,
she's already back. Vanessa, she is different now. She's back to Luann, the bubbly Luann.
Well, I'm actually here shifting energy right now.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, so just get ready for that unedited part, because everything comes out.
Okay, good. When I called you yesterday, you thought something was wrong with me, and I'm like, no, I just am calling you because I want to talk to you. I'm here. I'm in California. You really, I think, were on, oh my goodness, negative, something's wrong. And so shifting that, just that attitude and perspective of what's coming to you could be good, that is good right there. So I felt it. I felt it, and Vanessa obviously feels it because she said so.
Yeah.
And after the chakra cleanse, what do you think, Vanessa? Is that going to be good for Luann?
Yes, I was hoping that would come up.
Oh, good.
And I'm unburying her heart. I'm already in the process of cleansing your heart. No more burying it. You don't need to do that.
Did you need a John Deere to go out there and
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Vanessa,
you're right.
Vanessa, you said that you've never seen anybody actually bury their heart like that.
No, I've never seen that in a reading. I do a lot of readings, and
really,
I have never.
Did I miss that?
And yeah, I think you did. But you stood guard. You had it buried behind you in a very nice lawn, a very nice green lawn, and in front of you you had bars. So you're behind the bars, and I was on the other side, and you wouldn't let me in.
Wow.
But those bars have halfway dissolved. I mean, let's be honest. Your guard was up. Would you say that at the top of the? Yeah. I couldn't get in. I was like trying every which way to get in, and I'm like, well, I wonder where this reading's going. But one thing about it, it's always amazing. A reading may not go the way you think, but a reading always goes the right way.
Mm-hmm. That's I've only done this one other time, and you are everybody here has just been amazing. And what's interesting about Kelly, I didn't know that. I just was trying to be polite. I just had only heard her name mentioned 2 or 3 times, and I didn't want to thank Vanessa and Barbara and then have this gal Kelly say, gosh, well, what was I here for? Didn't she hear my name? I didn't, I was just trying to,
I was the silent cheering section.
Well, it's I mean, she's been an incredible part of the show. I mean, Kelly, I mean, you've done shows, Luann, so probably what happened was the first time I had my show with her, I had her on. We were having a medium on, and then she lit up like a Christmas tree knowing that she was going to have a medium on. So she had been doing like a couple of days of chakra days. So I went ahead and I said, yes, this is my co-host, Kelly. She didn't know I was going to do this. She didn't know I was going to say co-host, Kelly. So, I I mean, on the other end of the phone, there's this lady smiling, from ear to ear. And, I mean, it's true. I owed it to her, to be honest. I mean, it was, she had helped out with the show, and I figured that it was like with the whole butterfly necklace that she wears. She wears it because she's been on the show. And I mean, it's like she's really. Oh, that was an alarm that went off. Nobody heard that, but I don't know. It's just amazing that that she loved it as much as she did.
Well, she's a healer, Luann. She's so healing. She's our one of our co-hosts, but she is also our chakra healer, and we do that a few times a week for guests as well. We normally have our guests do that first to open them more up for the psychic reading, but we have a lot of slots to book, and sometimes that's not always the case. So I think you're going to get opened up a lot more.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is like the reason I like the idea of the chakra cleanse, and the reason I like the idea of the psychic days, and I'm sure you might have noticed this, Luann. Today, the talking was done on your terms. In other words, it was your terms what was discussed. It was your terms what was brought up. You see what I'm saying? Uh-huh. Whereas it's like as soon as somebody hears Playboy Playmate of the month, you were Miss January. Oh, well, we know we're going to talk to you about, But it's like now you're able to set the terms. You're able to set the motions. Does that make sense, Luann?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. In other words, Barbara was able to talk about what she wanted to talk about, her fall, or and it's great when you can have an interview that can potentially be about anything that's on your terms.
Yeah. I mean, especially since I didn't know what to. I mean, Barbara said, "Well, hopefully you have some questions prepared and things like that," and I was like, I guess.
Right.
My life is kind of falling apart. Just pick a topic. Pick a topic.
This is on your terms. Apart. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I find it so appealing.
Well, you're doing a great job, and so it's been fabulous.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you really are getting something from it. I'm not saying this one was so fun, but it's not always about fun. It's about getting better. It's about getting some clarity, getting better, getting answers, figuring out what direction are you going in. Is it the right direction? Things like that. And I think that you did, and it's a continual process. Mm-hmm. I mean, it'll come to you now that you've had this reading. It keeps coming to you, right, Vanessa? Things keep going. She's after the show, she's going to do work for you, and then you'll notice differences. Will you tell her a little bit about what she's going to feel or notice, maybe, Vanessa?
So I'm already shifting it. It's I've already shifted the situation with your mother, and I've also brought a lot of quiet and peace into your mother's world. So when you see your mother, she will be very contrite. I've also connected energy where she's going to ask for forgiveness. And so you have that. These are all gifts.
You really do think that Ed McMahon's going to show up when we won the lottery?
Well, yeah, but he's not around
never
anymore.
asked for forgiveness.
You always mention Ed McMahon. You always do that.
Because I'm old. But let me just tell you, she has never asked for forgiveness, and she's never said, I'm sorry. So I don't know. But it's okay to dream big.
We will see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to help. And if you have any questions, I'm on Instagram.
Did.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad. That's really good.
Well, thanks, everybody.
You're in good hands with Vanessa. She has definitely done a lot of clearing of things and cutting ties with toxic people for me. And I know that she's really good at what she does.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
thank you. Thank you,
Really.
Vanessa. Oh, yeah, she's helping me, too, a lot. I hope you could feel
I feel it. 1,000 times better already.
Good.
Well, I'm
That'll
glad.
be sounding stronger.
It's always my honor to be on Life, Laughter, Happiness, and I want to thank you for allowing me to do this reading today. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you for coming.
Thank you. Thank
Everybody
you
have
so
a
much.
great
Thank you,
night.
everyone.
I'll talk to you soon,
Thank
Luann.
you.
Have a great night.
Bye. Thank you so much. I guess I'll get Vanessa's information from you.
Yeah.
Okay.